Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tristan Barracks here, the digital storyteller and avid movie lover. But I'm not just an avid movie lover, I'm a Black movie fan, and I'm with my homies, Joseph and Greg. We are the Black Movie Fandom Club, and we are excited to talk about today's movie, which is, drumroll please, Coming to America 2, or is it coming to America? Okay,
Coming
great.
to America, yes.
So Greg, let's can you set our viewers up for what we're in to view or talk about today?
Well, of course, we're just going to talk about the movie, kind of look at the cast, because it's probably one of the biggest star-studded casts we've had in a long time, just in regards to movies, and just give our thoughts on the story overall.
Awesome. Let me pull up these lovely images here so we can actually share who's in this cast, which is pretty much everybody and my cousin except myself. But let's go ahead, Greg.
All right. So, of course, this is a sequel movie, the sequel to Coming to America that didn't have a number 2 in the title. Pretty much reintroducing us to Eddie Murphy as now from Prince to King Akeem, and his sidekick Semmi, played by Arsenio Hall. And pretty much in this image here, it's a little bit after the intro of them at the McDowell. The first McDowell opened up in what is it, Zamunda, and introducing their new burger that is plant-based and obviously disgusting. In terms of, I guess, other casts that we have, so pretty much we get introduced to Eddie Murphy's new kids, like, new to us anyways. His 3 daughters. I guess fun trivia fact, the middle daughter, which is a little bit lighter skin tone, is actually Eddie Murphy's daughter. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, I would do that too. I would totally do that if that was my daughter. So kudos to him.
Cool. Do we have we should also mention that, of course, we have a whole bunch of people who are coming back from the original movie too. So of course, at the end of the first movie, Eddie Murphy ended up marrying his love, and of course she's the queen now, or still the queen. And we got also John Amos, is it? As the, I guess, her father, who is still running McDowell's. And then, surprisingly, we got also Louis Anderson back for, I guess a quick cameo.
Listen, Louis Anderson looked like he went through some life, okay? I don't know about you guys, but Louis looked like he's just Louis. Like, he's just done. Right? He's done. Like, homeboy looked like he went through some life events. Jeez, okay.
Life events with Louis?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
What other images we got?
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Let me just jump into here. We got, obviously we have Arsenio, which I don't know about you guys, but like Arsenio, I saw him on a interview with Charlemagne the God from the Breakfast Club, and he looks significantly younger and better on that interview than in this movie. Like, this movie looked terrible. I found the makeup and just like the way people looked, they looked for the most part really bad. Like, I'm just saying. Anyways.
I don't know. I hear you. I totally feel the same way, because I was concerned when I saw him in this movie. I was just like, oh, like what happened?
What happened? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one. It was like, what's going on, bro?
I guess they needed to show him age, I guess. I don't know.
But man, but Eddie Murphy looks basically the same, just with more weight. He looks like life happened, like life.
Turk circles.
Yeah, absolutely. Life happened with that. Okay. And then we got James Earl Jones, which I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this guy has looked the same way since I was a kid. Since I was in 1983. He looks exactly the same way. Maybe 1 or 2 extra wrinkles, but let's be honest, like, the dude is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Consistency.
Same voice and everything.
Same voice, same chin, same eyes. you know, slightly one droopy, like, you know, I am your father. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing right now? This is Eddie Murphy's daughter here. Yeah, this is the one. She's cute. She's beautiful. I mean, you know, again, we'll talk more about character development and stuff like that, but like, we don't really get a lot from the daughters. This young lady's name, what's her name again, Greg?
Kiki Lane.
Kiki Lane. Okay, thank you, Joe. Yeah, Kiki Lane actually is one of my favorite up and coming, although I don't remember her name. She's actually one of my favorite up and coming actresses, Black actresses specifically. She starred in both the movies If Bill Streets Could Talk by Barry Jenkins and Old Blood or Old Guard.
Old Guard. An Old Guard. Yeah.
So she's really somebody to watch. Kiki is a dope actress, and I don't feel like they give her enough in this movie, but it is what it is, right? But let's set the premise. Let's talk about the premise.
I guess the synopsis of the movie.
What's the synopsis of the movie?
So the synopsis of the movie, pretty much it, where did I had it right here. There we go. So pretty much it's Eddie Murphy or let's just say their character name. So King Akeem and Semmi are pretty much reunited, and they're going back to New York because they find out that he has a son. Like, that's pretty much what leads the entire movie with everything that happens. So, you know, like, I know it seems so, it seems so basic. And, I was really hoping that, there would be a lot more to the movie. But, unfortunately, I'll tell you right now, it really didn't do much. Like,
I mean, the one thing I can say is that the actress that plays Akeem, Eddie Murphy's wife, she still looks as stunning as she did in the 1988, 1987 version of the first movie. I mean, she's still a beautiful woman. She's still a great actress, and I'm glad they got her in here. Who's this Negro? Like,
that's Rotimi.
Yes,
I know him from somewhere. Where is he from?
Yes, Power.
He's
most
from Power,
notably from Power, as playing Andre on that show, or Dre, which people love to hate, but also a very popular singer too.
Yeah, so, he's a singer. Yeah, he's from what band?
Yeah. So, did you hear that, Tristan? So
no.
Nigeria.
Oh, Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I actually expected a lot more from his character. Like, I was hoping they would have used him more because he could be very funny. Like, he's obviously actor, singer, but like sometimes a lot of the stuff he posts on like Instagram and all that stuff, like the man's hilarious. Like, you die laughing. So I was hoping they would have done a lot more with him.
But okay, let's really break it down, because essentially the whole plot, after 35 years, Akeem has to find his bastard son that apparently he had with what's her name? What's the comedian's character?
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones,
that's the actor.
He has Eddie Murphy. Okay, King Akeem has sex with Leslie Jones. Okay, in her full form, Leslie Jones' character.
Her full form. This isn't Dragon Ball.
Okay, whatever. It seems like it. And then basically Akeem has to go back and find his bastard son, because the king is dying, and he's going to become king, or he becomes king, and there's this sort of like, yes, he has daughters, but there's a family, there's a rich history of each king having a son to pass on sort of the leadership mantle to for the kingdom. So I think obviously in there's shades of sexism and like, misogynistic stuff. I don't care about that. That's just stories. That's storytelling. That's movie stuff. I'm not going to be like, cancel it because of that. Like, if you were a fan of the first movie, like, there's no way that you can be outraged with this storyline if you're a fan and you've seen the original movie. The original movie's 10 times worse. It was also rated R. But sorry, you were going to say.
I feel like, if they wanted it, they wanted to update it, I would have like I said, I read this in an article too. I would have just ixnayed the whole storyline behind a son, and focus on one of the daughters being the up and coming person.
Exactly.
And show her coming to America in some capacity, rather than, you know, playing this whole long lost son and then, you know, having kind of the movie recycle a lot of the stuff that was in the older film.
Yeah. I mean,
what this movie suffers from.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the movie does suffer from just not really having great focus, or focusing on, you know, although it's called Coming to America, right? It's a sequel to Coming to America. Not a lot happens in America. Most of it happens in Zamunda. And the things that happen in Zamunda were, at least for me, the interesting parts of the story were the parts that ironically didn't involve a lot of like the bigger characters. So like Arsenio's character, Eddie Murphy's character, you know, King Akeem, a lot of those characters, like, they got sidelined because of the storyline. But then when they were on screen, I didn't find myself enjoying what they had to bring to the movie. Whereas I think the elements that were really good worked because it was like the actors were better in it, and it was just written better. I don't know how to say and a part of it too, for those of reviewers that don't know, the movie was written by the original writers of Coming to America, or the prequel, the first movie, and then it was like tweaked to try and be modernized, and I guess black modernized by the writer and creator of Blackish, as well as
Kenya Barris.
Kenya Barris. Who, for those of you that don't know who Kenya Barris is, he's a very well-known writer, black writer. He writes for TV and film and all that other stuff. He's very talented, but he has a very specific and particular humor style and a comedic style, I should say. And it's either hit or miss. Like, it's not really in between. Like, to me, I found like the tone was off comedically for the most part. Not to say I didn't laugh and I wasn't smiling, because it was, you know, obviously there's a lot of nostalgia in the movie, but overall, as I left it, like, as I was watching it, I was more watching it because I loved the first movie, and because there was so much odes and throwbacks to the old movie.
Exactly.
As well as I found myself laughing at the movie more than laughing with the movie, which was problematic. What do you guys think about that?
No, I agree. Like, there were a lot. Like, I remember watching the movie on my way to work, because I downloaded it on Amazon, and I didn't find myself laughing at any of the jokes at all.
The
same way I did with the first one. Like, you know, there weren't those kung pao, those boom bap funny moments that made the first one so popular. Like, I felt like it was just, things were just there. And, you know, overall, I look at this and I'm like, a lot of the decisions this movie just suffers from lazy storytelling. Really, really lazy storytelling. Like, okay, the fans want it. We all want this film to be the fans ask for Coming to America too. Let's just give it. Let's just put whatever together. Get the whole old band back together and just give them something. Like,
so I'll say this, Joe. Like, so there's certain things I really do agree with you on. Definitely lazy storytelling. Definitely, there were moments where I was laughing. I was like, for me, the barbershop scene for me was probably my favorite scene in terms of comedically, because it brought, like, anything that was like the old beats of the first movie were actually pretty funny. Like this, I watched the barbershop scenes because there's two scenes, and I said to myself, I could watch a movie or a show on this, even if it's like a 5-part series, sort of like just one season show of the barbershop of these guys, these characters, because these characters and what Eddie Murphy brings and Arsenio Hall bring to these characters, and because of the fact that these characters, they're already established as who they are, people can't get mad at how these characters are and how brash they are and how offensive they are and how you know, sexist they are, misogynistic they are. This is how they are, and so you won't hear people say, oh, let's cancel these characters because these characters are not, they're transphobic, or they're, abusive to women or Asians or whatever else. It's like, no, like
they're old school.
If they're old school, right? So you can't really hate these characters, or else you're essentially saying you hate the movie, the first movie, right? Whereas, like, I think, and that's why they work and they're still funny. And they could push in certain ways and say certain thing about African kids and blah, 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 blah. And even they have the Jewish character that Eddie Murphy plays, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But and see, you laugh about that because it's funny. It's so funny. Yeah. But like they couldn't come out with, like, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall couldn't come out with like a trans a trans character, right? Again, or even when they did the flashback to where Arsenio Hall, in the nightclub where he's playing two characters, he's playing himself and then he's playing a woman. It's like they really had to tone it in a way where it was just like, okay, we're trying to give you the context of how Akeem got a woman pregnant, and less about like that character, which is kind of sad because it feels like, even in an interview I watched with Arsenio said that they kind of had to make it PG. They couldn't go with the R rating because there's a lot of like, a lot of politically correct things that are out there, and they didn't want to be canceled. And these are legends. These are comic legends. So it just speaks to what you guys were saying.
Yeah, the scope of comedy has changed. It's changed totally. So, to have a movie like this come out now, it's tricky. I could see, like, though I said it was lazy, I could see how hard it was to kind of create a story around these current times, where you can't really. You can make funny jokes, but they can't be done in a way that hurts a particular group or offends a particular person. So I can see where the difficulty is there. I don't know. It's just, like I said, Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna jump in. Just overall, just going back to what you said about lazy story writing, and in regards to like where they took the story with following this whole son thing. I think they missed a huge opportunity, man, with just following. Because in the beginning, following the daughters, like when I saw the daughters, I was like, oh, okay, like this, like I never looked up what the synopsis was, so I was just like completely, I guess, blank slate coming into the movie. So as soon as I saw the daughters, I was like, oh, great, like we're gonna find out, I guess, all about Zamunda, and it's gonna be about obviously his kids, and that's gonna carry the story. And when they went with the whole son thing, it was just like they just really fell flat. And like the whole story overall, just really, like, the foundation of this entire movie is built on nostalgia. So like if you never watched the first one, like
you have no idea.
You'd have no idea. And there would be jokes and stuff happening, and you're just like, okay, like whatever, like who are these characters? Like, why do I care? Why are you showing them? Like this whole movie heavily relies on you watching the first one.
And I just find it like there's just so many, like there's so many things going through my mind, because again, we're Black movie fans. So this is a really important, Coming to America is like a coming of age movie for every Black person.
Oh yeah.
Right? Especially within that era. Like if you were a person that grew up that was born in the 70s or 80s, you watched Coming to America several times. You should know certain parts. Like you should know the part where he goes out on the balcony and says, "F you, Queens, F you." Like, yeah, I'd be like yeah. Or she's a queen, so to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's memorable, like sexual chocolate, like all of that stuff.
When he stops in front of the cab, like crazy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like all of these things are things that we look at, and I think that what's sad is that all of those fresh ideas that could have been played upon even more. I mean, obviously it was 1987, 88. Eddie Murphy was at the height of his powers, or getting to the height of his powers. Like there's so many things that they could have done better. Like even just from the standpoint of, if you are going to do the son, why not work with somebody that in my opinion, has a little bit more of a name, and that a little bit more star power, and that has more charisma. The person who plays Eddie Murphy's son, Jermaine, what's his last name?
Fowler.
Jermaine Fowler.
Fowler.
Yeah.
Jermaine Fowler, to me, fell flat. Like yes, there wasn't a lot in like written with his character arc, but like I just found his character to be like not really that funny, and his performance not to be that funny. And I was thinking like one other thing too, just to throw out there, and then I'll let you in. Like there are so many other comedic actors and comedians that I feel could have been in the movie that would have brought so much other character to it. Like I think about, yes, Trevor Noah. Yes, he's South African. Yes, that would have been right on the nose, but like that would have been funny. That would have been interesting. What if, you know, Akeem had sex with a white woman and then they had a baby that was like, you know, like, biracial. Like how funny would that be? You know, and bringing that part of America into Zamunda, right? I don't know. Anyways, I'm just throwing out a whole bunch of curveballs. So forgive me.
You know what? Honestly, I didn't mind Jermaine Fowler. Like I remember him from a couple episodes of what was it, Imperial Donuts?
I don't even know what that show is.
Or Sorry to Bother You. He was in Sorry to Bother You, and he was in a bunch of other things. But you know, he has a potential of being funny. It's just one of those things where, like I said, I don't think he was given a lot of funny material to work with. I don't think there was a lot for him to work with in this film. And then when you look at even Jermaine Fowler or Lavelle Johnson, and so his character and the character of Mirembe, played by Nozamo Mbatha, who is absolutely gorgeous. Like she's going to be the new It girl.
That's his love. That's his love interest, right?
Yeah, Mirembe.
Yeah,
I feel like
she was a phenomenal actress. She was great.
Yeah,
dope actress. I want to see her in more stuff, but I felt like there wasn't enough meat in their like chemistry, in their story arc. Like
you think so? I found that was one of the sweet moments or sweet areas of the movie. Like I felt like there was enough moments. Like at first I didn't think she was going to be the love interest at all. I didn't see that coming here until the second scene where they were together, and I was like, oh, like when they were talking together, like, so the first time it's like, oh, I'm going to do your hair. Then the second time it's like, I want to find my own self. And she's like, yo, like find yourself by being who you are. Like if you're from Queens, then be from Queens, right? And I really liked that chemistry. That was actually one of the few fresh new characters and people that I actually liked in the movie, because there was there was growth and there was a little bit of arc I found personally, and I actually was rooting for that. That's when I actually liked, you know, Jermaine's character. But when he was just being like Jermaine, just being the prince, I could care less.
Yeah, like there's nothing that stood out the way Eddie Murphy's character stood out as Prince Akeem. Like when you remember Akeem, you remember those moments. You remember those moments where, you know, he was at McDowell's, or when he was at the nightclubs, or all these other scenes. But then compare it to Jermaine Fowler's character, they're pretty unforgettable in this film. Like nothing really stood out.
Well, let me ask you as this, right? Like when you look at the star-studded cast from the 1988, the original version, right? And you look at this cast, right? And you think to yourself, okay, well, Eddie Murphy was at the height of his powers, right? The movie, the main character was Eddie Murphy, was Akeem, right? But like he had James Earl Jones, he had all of these like amazing actors around him, right? I don't understand. Like this is my opinion, right? Why couldn't Eddie Murphy be the James Earl Jones to whoever was playing his son? And what I mean by that is like, who was the next star? Who's the it star? Whether, I mean, I'm not saying I would want to see this, right? I wouldn't want to see a Kevin Hart play Eddie Murphy's son, right? Akeem's son.
Yeah,
that'd
like, be ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like it should have been around, and it was around his son. It could have been around his daughter, but like I feel like the star power was still Eddie Murphy. It was still like Eddie Murphy presents all these other people that are kind of cool, and we're trying to tell a story, but Eddie Murphy's still the largest star. And it's like, dude, like I love Eddie Murphy, but I felt like he was almost like scared to let somebody else be the biggest star in the movie. And that was a big error. Like, I don't know if you guys heard about Michael B. Jordan well, Ryan Coogler suggested, because I think he was a part of like the initial writing process, or suggested to Eddie Murphy about Michael B. Jordan being his son, and Eddie Murphy turned it down. I don't even understand that, but it is what it is.
So crazy. Actually, believe it or not, speaking of other filmmakers, Aaron McGruder of the Boondocks had a treatment for this film, which I want to know about so badly, because apparently his
what
treatment
are you saying
was better than what was on screen. Yeah, he had a treatment that he presented to Eddie and Arsenio, and I think it was passed on for, I'm not too sure what reasons, that whatever reason it was that they passed on it, but it existed.
That's crazy. Like that. Oh my goodness.
It would have been dope if you had Aaron McGruder, like,
without a doubt.
Like, so the Boondocks is amazing. So
let's talk about the ending, you know, things that maybe top 2 things that we really, really liked about the movie, top 2 things that we hate about the movie, and then sort of how we ended it, and maybe give our own our black fist rankings in terms of out of 5. So I'll start out with Joe.
Okay, 2 things that I liked about the film. Can I go for 3? Okay.
Sure, why not?
Or 2. Okay. So, third thing to get out of the way is the nostalgia. Is like, it was good to see everybody back together again. Like, it was good to see the old cast. It was even cool to see some of the cameos in the movie, which is pretty cool. Like, you know, you had like your Salt and Pepper, Rick Ross, and Gladys.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Which I don't understand, but it's okay. Keep on going.
What? Right. But you had that, and then what was another cool thing? Wesley Snipes was a good addition to the cast.
Can we talk about Wesley Snipes a little bit? He is can I just tell you, like, I hope that he gets a resurgence in terms of opportunities. That dude can act. He has charisma, and let's not forget, he friggin' can kick ass like Steven Seagal. And
he was the action hero.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
and like nobody 100%. Wants to use him. I don't understand why people don't want to use him.
I don't know. You know what? I think there's an attitude. There was issues with like his demeanor and the way he would treat people on set, but I guess that's changed now. I don't know, but
yeah. So what are the 3 things or 2 things you hate?
So another thing I loved before I get to my dislikes was Nizamo Mbafa's character Mirembe. Mm-hmm. That's my new like woman crush Wednesday. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that girl is butter.
So butter. South Africa has some heat, man. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
But no, she brought it in this film. I loved her character Mirembe and how strong and fortified she was in this film. The 2 things I disliked, I already mentioned it. The storytelling was lazy, and just the overall choice of the film. Like, they could have brought Coming to America in a different direction, but they chose the way they went the direction they went in because, you know, there has to be a need for a male lead, which there shouldn't be. Like, there was no purpose of having a male lead when, you know, you have Akeem, you have Queen Lisa, you have 3 daughters you can build a story off of. But, you know, what do I know? I don't work for Eddie or Amazon, so.
Hilarious. Yeah. I mean, Greg, what do you think?
So what did I like? I even though the movie heavily relies on it, I like the nostalgia. Like, you know, it was like from the start, like they had like a similar intro, you know, that I guess kind of drone shot coming onto the palace. You know, you see everybody all the servants working outside. I'd be very curious because I tried to look it up, but I didn't find anything. But like even the inside of the palace, like it looked the exact same, like, you know, just so much nostalgia. So I really love that. The other thing that I liked was, I liked I loved the cast. Like, you know, again, didn't really look up to see who's in it. And it was good to see so many familiar faces, but, you know, going into what I didn't like, you know, of course, you know, a lot of these faces just showed up just for the sake of showing up. There really wasn't a lot of story behind any of them, whether it was, Rotimi, Rick Ross, Michael Blackson.
Let's talk about Rick Ross's lack of accent. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Well,
he is now going today. What?
So a little trivia. The house that they filmed it in was Rick Ross's house. That's why he's in the movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes
the
sense.
Interiors, the exteriors, not the CGI drone shot, but like the exteriors and everything. That was all done in his inside of his house in his backyard. So that's why he's there.
Okay,
yeah, I
makes sense.
I heard about that. I think he made about $6 million off of them just using his house.
Wow,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, overall, like for me, like anytime I watch a movie, like the biggest thing is the story. Like, you know, there are a lot of movies that I like or will forgive if the story is good. Doesn't matter if there's bad acting or whatever. As long as there's a solid story, like I could still be into it. But like, you know, I was disappointed when they went the whole like finding his son route. Like I saw the daughters and like I was genuinely excited to see where this was going to go, thinking that, you know, they're just going to, you know, push, you know, go the route of showing like, I guess the eldest daughter becoming the queen. And, you know, that totally, I mean, I guess in a way it did happen, but the focus wasn't on that. It was just like a collateral effect that happened in the end.
Yeah, and I felt like they misused Kiki so much because she's a great actress, and she was just kind of like a bitch throughout the whole movie, like, and that there wasn't any sort of arc or storyline for her. Anyways, is it my turn yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take it home.
What do I like about the movie? I can honestly say that I felt from just a movie standpoint. You know, I watched it with my wife and we were smiling and we laughed at points, you know, so it did make me feel happy and nostalgic. And it was, you know, Arsenio said it like this. He said, if we can take people away from all this COVID stuff and all this like loss of jobs for like 2 hours, then we've done our job. And I think that the movie does that for the most part. It does that. It takes us away from anything else when we go back to Zamunda. Unfortunately, the story that they're telling in Zamunda is just not compelling and it doesn't connect enough. And I think that I think that's what tears me apart. What I will say is that I do really like, you know, the acting from some of the newer cast. I love the fact that we see all the older actors. I love the world that we're put into, like, you know, from the wardrobe was amazing to the lighting to the decorations. One of my favorite moments in the movie is you know, from a comedian I don't even really like that much, which is Jermaine's mom. I forgot her name is
Leslie Jones.
Yeah, Leslie Jones. She goes at the end at a point where a character comes back to come check for another character in the States, and she goes, "You ran all the way back from Africa?" And it's just like, but like, there's just moments where you could see that there was potential in the movie to be really funny and just hit those beats, and it just it didn't do it enough for me. If it was up to me, I would probably skip this movie or watch it once, which I did, and I probably won't watch it again. If I'm going to give a rating for this movie, I would probably give it 1.5 fist, if we can do halves.
Out of 5?
Out of 5, yeah, out of 5. I'd give it like 1.5 fist out of 5. It actually makes me sad that I have to say that, but I'm like, Eddie Murphy wasn't funny in it. You know, a lot of the characters that I wanted to be funny weren't that funny. And the moments that were funny were stuff that were used or picked up from the original film. So there wasn't a lot of fresh stuff here. So that's my rating. What's your rating, guys?
My rating, I'm gonna be a bit generous than you. I'm gonna do like a 2.5 fist out of 5.
Okay.
Simply on like the nostalgia alone. Overall, and I think I've said this on your Facebook, I wanted to see something brand new, and I didn't get it. I just got, like, you know, we just got a rehash of stuff from the older film, and some lazy storytelling. So yeah, 2.5 fists out of 5.
Yeah, I'm pretty much around the same range. I guess we're all close to each other. I'm going with two fists out of five. Like, it wasn't that great of a movie. The nostalgia was awesome, but it was very tough to sit through the whole thing and like just complete it. So
yeah, there was a lot of cringe-worthy parts. But hey, listen, we would love to know what your thoughts are. These are just our thoughts and our perspective from the way that we watched the movie and the way we received it. We'd love to hear your thoughts below, comment, and also consider subscribing to the channel. Give us a thumbs up or give this video a thumbs up if you like the conversation. And we'll be back hopefully talking some Justice League Snyder Cut the next time we see it. Let's give it
yes.
This is another episode of the Black Movie Fan community and channel, and we are really, really excited to continue to create content for you guys. So without further ado, we'll talk to you later. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Let me do that one more time because I hated that part. Okay.
Yeah,
let me just switch out of I'll do it like this where we're all sharing the grid mode. There we go. Perfect. I just don't have time to do that. And that wraps up another review from the Black Movie Fan channel. And we're really, really excited to create some more reviews for you. Actually, up next is the Snyder Cut of the Justice League. And we are super excited.
Yes.
Oh, let's go. Got a lot to talk about. All right. So talk to us later. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and stay creative. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.